Greetings, Belgian and time and space. It's your host, TheAmariaShadow, and welcome back to the channel. Welcome back once again to more of Apollo Justice Ace Attorney Trilogy. You're probably wondering why I'm not doing a Let's Play a live stream on Multiverses today. Main reason, I didn't really feel like playing Multiverses today. And I have been neglecting the Ace Attorney Trilogy for the Apollo Justice Trilogy for a bit too much now. I want to get this completed before anything else comes in and ends up messing up my recording schedule. So I'm trying to get this completed. I still have Dual Destinies and Spirit of Justice to go through, but I believe there is only two more episodes. Actually, hang on. Yeah, there's only one more episode after episode 4. Episode 4 before the Apollo Justice Ace Attorney game is done. So we're going to try and get a little bit of headway into episode 4 today and see how things go from there. So without further ado, let's get started on our way to today's adventure and see what's in store for us. Allons-y! Episode 4, Turnabout Succession. And that is the whole truth of this case. In order to understand it myself, I had to know the story of these last 7 long years. Nothing happens by chance. All is connected. And now, you stand ready to begin the final chapter of this story. Is this the final chapter? I don't think it is. Will the defendant be found guilty or innocent? The decision is yours. Oh, it could be. It could actually be the last chapter. I could be completely forgetting that this might be the last chapter. Hold on. October 7th, 10:37 a.m. Write anything in agency. Hey, Apollo, look on TV. Look. Yeah, I'm kind of busy. Whoa, look at that. He's the last Grimare, all right. Amazing. Apollo, you should be watching this. Ow! What? I was writing about our last case in my journal. Lawyers are supposed to write things in records, Apollo, not journals. And why now? That case was 3 months ago. Hey, it's a long story. I did a lot, you know. I want to vacuum pack the feel of the moment for later. Right now I'm wowing the crowd by figuring out how Mother-Noroi disappeared. That's right, Uncle Valet did that illusion too. But you're missing him on TV right now. I was just getting into the good part. I suppose I should watch a little TV with her. After all, her father's expecting me to look after her while he's away. What you're now seeing is a rehearsal for the greatest magic show on Earth, happening right here at our very own Sunshine Coliseum. The Sunshine Coliseum? Hey, that's where the Gaviniers' concert was. Only 3 more days until miracles happen here, right before your unbelieving eyes. The legendary troupe Grimare is performing for the first time in 7 years. That's going to be great. I'm still there. You and Daddy are coming too. The legendary Grimares. If Trucy's real father were still alive, he'd be on that stage performing miracles. I've got the tickets and everything. Here's yours, Apollo. Ah, you are here. Working hard or hardly working. Hey, how have you been? Hi there, stranger. Not exactly the kind of greeting I'd want to hear from my own kid. Though he has been gone a long time. How goes it, Trucy? Here, I got a present for you. Yay, pudding! I love pudding. Ooh, it's farm fresh. And not just one pudding, but 3 whole cups. I'll have to pace my cup myself. Well, I'm beat. That's right, Daddy. You're on a top secret mission. You've got to take it easy with the secrets, you know? How right you are. So you still can't tell us what your mission is? Maybe it is time. It has something to do with you anyway. Huh? With me? Ooh, maybe you're getting a top secret mission too. Maybe you could be one of those guys. A spy! Can't I just be a defense attorney? To be honest, telling you about the mission was my whole reason for coming here today. What? Tell me, you've heard of the Juris system, yes? The Juris system? That's right, the new legal systems everyone's talking about. Have you heard of it, Apollo? Huh? Maybe? Maybe not as many people are talking about it as I thought. The Juris system, huh? So, Daddy, what's this jury system thing? Well, truthfully, do you know what a jury is? I've heard of it. Isn't that those people who sit in court in those old courtroom dramas? The ones who get to decide if a guy's innocent or guilty? Do you know, Apollo? Only from TV. It's 12 people chosen from the community, right? Well, they're thinking about reviving that system. They're calling the new system the jury system. No more doing whatever you like, Your Honor. Not quite that harsh. The jurors cooperate with the judge. They help analyze the case from different angles. And there will only be 6 of them under the current proposal, right? Wow, you know your stuff, Apollo. Their findings directly affect the verdict. Hopefully, people will start taking the courts a little more seriously now. I feel like I'm on some kind of educational TV show, starring Dr. Wright. Dr. Wright, his assistant Trucy, and Mascot Apollo. The perfect team. Mascot? Hey! So, what is this secret mission? The jury system is my mission, more or less. Anyway, keep in mind that new ideas like this system are always risky, Apollo. Too true. Everyone's got an opinion, and they just talk and nothing gets decided. Kinda like you, Apollo. I'm not that bad, am I? In any case, we're going to give it a shot. A test, if you will. I don't like tests. We'll take a case as a sample, and choose 6 jurors. I'll be the one helping with that process, incidentally. Helping? How? Well, for one, I'll be chair of the Jury System Simulated Court Committee. The chair constructs the ideal situation, choosing the case, the jurors' candidates, even the judge in the courtroom. Wow, it's like you have a real job! I was never that good at the piano, to be honest. Once a lawyer, always a lawyer, I guess. The trial's tomorrow, by the way. Don't miss it. The trial simulation, that is. A simulation, huh? Sounds interesting. So, what kind of case is the trial simulation about? Well, since it is the first run-through of a new system, I wanted something simple. Good thinking. No sense wearing yourself out on something too serious. True. The case is a murder. That's not simple at all! By simple, did you mean that the defendant is guilty? Yes, most likely. So, good luck, Apollo. With what? With the trial tomorrow. You're defending, of course. Recall that I said it had something to do with you. Go for it, Apollo! It's just a test case anyway. No sweat! Yeah, but there's still a verdict to be decided. And a potentially serious sentence. The most serious in a worst-case scenario. Ah! You mean the verdict's for real? That's not a test trial! That's a real trial! All the forms have been filed. There's no turning back now. The trial begins tomorrow at 10 a.m. Hope we can make room in your schedule. Why am I only hearing about this now? Ah, yes, there was a change this morning. I picked a new case. Eh? Something that happened last night. Hey, Apollo, I know you're all excited about that secret mission, but what about this? The TheAmariaShadow Grand Magic Show. Huh? Oh, right, the card tricks. They're not card tricks! They're grand illusions, miracles, the apocalypse, heaven and earth will shake! So what? That's 3 whole days from now. It's at Sunshine Coliseum. Let's go. Let's go today. We can say hi to Uncle Valen. Have fun. What? I can't go by myself. You know I'm not very outgoing. Right. Why not go with her? But what about the secret mission? Oh, don't worry about that. You'll hear all about it tomorrow regardless. I don't trust that smile. He knows something that he's not telling me. Yippee! Now you can take me to the Coliseum. I suppose it wouldn't kill me to pop over there. Ah, Grammare. That reminds me. What's this, Daddy? Isn't that silk hat the Grammare seal? Consider it a birthday present, Trucy. Thanks, it's great! But today isn't my birthday. Good point. What day is it today, Apollo? Huh? Today? I think it's Recycle Your Plastics Day. And it's a Recycle Your Plastics present. Yippee! So it's plastic! I've given up trying to understand them. It's much easier that way. So what is it? Can I open it, Daddy? No. Huh? You'll need that envelope someday. Someday soon. Don't open it until then. Well, why didn't you just hold on to it until then? Because that would be the logical thing to do. An envelope about the Gourmares, huh? Alright, so what case are you going to use? You really want to know, don't you? Of course I do! I mean, I'm going to be defending, aren't I? If all goes well, then yes. Of course, this is just a test. We wanted everyone to start without preconceptions. A blank slate, as it were. There's a difference between having a blank slate and just being totally clueless. Whose dumb idea was that anyway? Well, mine. Committee chair, remember? Oh. Well, if you want to know that badly, I suppose, I could give you permission to examine the scene of the crime. Good! That's better. But you can't talk to anyone involved with the case. What? Then how am I supposed to defend? You let me worry about the details there. Remember, I'm in charge of this trial. Always. But you don't want it to backfire, do you? Apollo, if I am in charge of the whole trial, that means the entire affair is my responsibility. For good or for bad. Just do what you can. And don't worry, I know what I'm doing. Alright. I'd recommend going down to the detention center. Your client's waiting for you. You could ask about the scene there. But you just said I couldn't talk to anyone involved. Oh, you could talk to your client. If you can get her to talk. Well, time's a-wasting. October 7th, detention center, visitor's room. That's 20 minutes we've been waiting here! 20 minutes! Maybe I should complain? I'm sure that guard has better things to do than stand there pretending he doesn't see us. You know, the minute we get angry, the client will show. It always works that way. Like shouting, "Oh, waiter!" and they're standing right behind you. Oh, guard! Is our client going to be much longer? What are you talking about? Haven't you already started the meeting yet? Huh? Ah! What? Where'd you come from? Well, anyway, please have a seat. I'm nervous, Apollo. It's the silence. It builds suspense. Why don't you do something, Jersey? You're a magician, aren't you? That's right. Okay. I'm the amazing Mr. Hat! She fainted! Ah! She passed out! This magic underwear might have been a better bet. That's magic panties on the Apollo. Hi. Well, I'm your defense. I really think it has to be fate, you know? And by fate, I mean destiny. Did you know I'm good with astrology? Tell me, what's your sign? I could tell you mine if you'd like, Apollo. No, never mind. I just got carried away there. I seem destined to get difficult clients, it seems. So, what's your name? Oh, right. I'm supposed to introduce myself first. I'm Apollo. Apollo Justice. And I'm Trucy Wright. I know. This is getting nowhere fast. Hey, I know. Maybe you can tell us what happened. I'm your defense attorney, after all. Anything out of the ordinary happened lately? Well, the other day, this tourist from out of town stopped to ask me directions. Later, Trucy. I feel like I need to ask directions myself here. Well, that was fruitless. So I think I understand despair a little bit better now. You did good, Apollo. Look, she's doing her nails. What? Are nails more important than the fence? Is that it? Let's go, Trucy. Excuse me. Could you read this? Sure. I feel like a teenager on a first date. And this is the love letter we passed from desk to desk at school. Stop looking so wistful and read it, Apollo. It's a business card with a name and address. The name is Baron Measham? The address is for Drew Studio. And you're giving me this card because... Well, looks like we're finished here. I wonder if Drew Studio is the scene of the crime. Let's go find out. Wow, this looks like... It looks like a studio. It's like life imitating art. Or maybe it's the other way around. But the tape on the ground there, it's a bit jarring. Yeah, it looks like we found our crime scene. Apollo, look at all those paintings. Hey, don't touch those. It's okay, I'm just looking. Huh? Apollo, look at this one. Looks half finished. You still see the rough sketch underneath. But that's odd. The rough part doesn't look like the rest of the painting at all. Yeah, good point. That is odd. All the paintings have a really different style, too. Ah! I thought I might find you two here. Emma! Emma! Long time no see! Oh? Seems like I run into you far too often. I'll bet I know why you're here, too. You know about the trial simulation tomorrow? I've heard about it, sure. So Mr. Wright chose you, huh? You don't even know what the case is about. Well, he was killed. The artist who owns the studio, that is. Mr. Drew Measham. Measham? And his daughter was put under arrest. Yeah, we just saw her at the detention center. It was funny, though. She seemed more like a victim than the kind of person who could commit murder. You don't say. Not even by poisoning? That's how it was done, you know. Poisoning's a common way to get the job done when the murderer is a woman. But poisoning? Anyway, Mr. Wright told me you'd be coming. Feel free to take a look around. I'll just be over here, with my snackers. You can't talk to anyone related to the case this time around. Which means we better find out as much as we can here at the scene. Or else. So, this Drew Measham was some kind of artist? Apparently. Did a lot of illustrations for books, I hear. Had a lot of female fans, too, for what it's worth. Oh? Well, I guess the stuff is kinda pretty. Like that oil painting over there, for instance. Yeah. That wasn't one of his illustrations, actually. Huh? So it was a standalone painting or something? Is that what she means? He was an odd bird, Measham. Hadn't shown his face to anyone up until the end. What do you mean, to anyone? He was always locked up here in this studio, apparently. His only connection to the outside world was through letters he put in that letterbox there. Letters? Do people still write letters? What do you mean, Apollo? I mean, when was the last time you wrote a real letter? Don't most people use email and stuff these days? Not Mr. Measham. Couldn't stand technology, it seems. He did everything by mail. Maybe he thought that way was more artistic, you know? In any case, the only person besides him allowed in here was his daughter, Vera. Oh, you mean the killer? The suspect, please. We took some fingerprints, of course. The only ones found in the room were Mr. Measham's and Vera's, basically. Basically? Actually, last night, Mr. Measham gave an interview to a reporter for the first time. It happened during the interview, apparently. His first interview ever? Could you tell us a bit more about what happened the night of the murder? So this woman, Vera, she's Mr. Measham's daughter, right? Yep, a real sickly girl ever since she was little. Hardly ever went outside. She did kind of give off a withdrawn sort of aura. She was homeschooled by her father, apparently. It was quite a scene when they took her to the detention center. She was screaming about how she'd die if they took her outside. That does sound like a scene. In the end, she agreed to leave if she was allowed her good luck charm for company. Her good luck charm? Apparently, she has this charm that magically gives her the courage to go outside. Why can't I ever get a normal client? But why would a shut-in daughter kill her own dad? Don't look at me. It's all about the poison that was found to be in his coffee, right? No, not precisely. Not precisely? What does that mean? It means see for yourself, I think. Like I said, last night was the first time someone from the outside came into this studio. I guess mysterious painters who never go outside make for good articles. And it just so happened that he died the night of his first interview. At around 9 p.m. every night, Vera always made him a cup of coffee. Last night, he drank his usual coffee and suddenly became violently ill. And died? She poisoned him on the night of his interview? Wouldn't the reporter see? He wasn't near Mr. Meacham when she brought her father his coffee. He was checking out some equipment in the back of the room. Supposedly, that's why she didn't notice he was there. It was the reporter who called the police, in fact. Wait, but why is she the suspect? If anyone's suspicious, it's the reporter. Yet the reporter never got near Mr. Meacham's coffee. Even Vera acknowledges that. Regardless, I want to know more about this reporter. Hey, there's a painting hidden back here. Hey, you're right. What if it's embarrassing somehow and he didn't want anyone to see it? He certainly seemed pleased by the possibility. Huh, it's so normal. That's hardly something to get mad about. Huh? What is it, Apollo? Well, doesn't this painting look like... Never mind. I'd better get a professional opinion on this. And of course, the telephone rings when I'm recording. Give me a second. Ah, that's the victim's coffee mug. Aha! So the poison was in here. This is my first time seeing a real poison mug of coffee. I would hope so. Poison coffee? Not exactly, actually. What do you mean? No traces of poison were found in the coffee. What? You'll have to figure out the rest yourself. I'm officially not on your side, after all. Hey, look there! That stain doesn't look so healthy, Apollo. It must be the Blue Mountain stuff we've been hearing about. Something tells me that even Blue Mountain coffee isn't this blue. Oh, this stain is probably... better ask Emma. Emma, about this mug. There's a pale blue, residue on the rim. Eh? Ah! That! Yes, well, it's just a rumor. But I've heard there's a kind of coffee called Blue Mountain. I'm pretty sure it isn't actually blue, Emma. Ah, right. Okay, you got me. That's left over from my testing spray. Forensic science! I knew your hobby was behind this somehow, Emma. It's not a hobby. So what kind of scientific stuff are you up to? This spray, that's what. It turns blue when it touches poison. So the poison that killed the victim was on this mug? That's right, see? It wasn't in the coffee. The killer applied it to the rim of the mug itself. Wow, science is amazing. It certainly is helpful. Maybe Emma would be willing to help us out a bit more. You should try buttering her up, Apollo. They say flattery will get you everywhere. It's certainly worth talking to her a bit more. I bet Emma could help us out here. Ooh-hoo-hoo, Issue Scout. Don't forget, flattery will get you everywhere with her, Apollo. Huh? What are you two whispering about? Well, I was thinking. I mean, what is it we always do when we run into you at a crime scene? What is it we always do scientifically? Ah, you know me too well. Okay. Okay, meaning we could get, scientific now? Oh, I suppose. Just this once. Bring me anything you find suspicious and we'll check it out. Emma, about this mug. There's a pale blue residue on the rim. Oh, is it just repeating it? This spray, that's what. It turns blue when it touches poison. So the poison that killed the victim was on this mug? That's right, see? It wasn't in the... Okay. Okay, that was just, repeating it. About poison analysis. I was afraid you were going to ask about that. See, this solution is used to test for atroquinine. Atroquinine, the deadly poison found in the autopsy. Uh-oh, I know that spark in her eyes. She's getting excited. Best tread lightly. It's one of the most virulent poisons, but it's absorbed into the body astonishingly slowly. It takes at least 15 minutes from the time of ingestion for adverse effects to show. Oh, and guess what? Recent research has shown that that's fine, really. We don't need to know all the gory details. I think I get it. You just spray this stuff on something you want to test, right? Precisely. You can find even the slightest trace of poison with this. I want to try too, Emma. Pretty please? You don't have to ask twice. I already used it on everything suspicious, of course. Yay, let's give it a whirl, Apollo. Ah! What are you doing? I'm just seeing if I got a reaction off of you. How's this for a reaction? Never do that again! I'm not poisonous! Tell that to those hapless witnesses on the stand. Let's just get down to checking for real poison, shall we? Too bad, no reaction there. I'm sure Emma checked out all the likely spots. Wait a second. What is it, Apollo? Did you spray that little desk over there? I don't think so. The spray probably can't reach that far, you know? Let's check it out, just to be sure. A reaction, Apollo! Ah! Where? Where? The inside of that cute little frame. Look! Well, would you look at that? Nice going, Trucy. I'm known to work magic. Never mind that I was the one who found it. Why would the inside of that frame have poison on it? It looks like we found the only other place that was poisoned in any case. Let's take a closer look at this desk here. This envelope has been opened and resealed. Ooh, I know how to do that. You take a pot of boiling water and hold the envelope up to the steam. The glue melts and it opens. Cool, huh? Whoever did this wasn't so delicate. You're right. Looks like they just ripped it open and stuck it back together. Huh? The postmark on this letter is from 7 years ago. Why would someone open a letter and seal it again? I'd better hang on to this. Emma, about this. Oh, that! Yes, why that's a bright red envelope. She sure is jumpy. Someone opened this, didn't they? My lips are sealed. Your lips are sealed? That's a first. You mean you know what's inside the envelope? Sure, I read it after all. Ah! You mean you were the one who ripped this open? Ha! Please, I would have steamed it open. But she did sneak a peek at it, apparently. Know that I have a powerful weapon on my side. Weapon? Yes, the use of tools. Highly specialized tools for information gathering. Tools I wouldn't mind getting my hands on. You should try flattering her, Apollo. They say a little praise can open big doors. Never heard that one, but it's good advice. Let's try talking to her some more. About that envelope we found. I was wondering if you could help us out with that tool you were mentioning. You want to know about my tool, do you? It's called an X-ray analyzer. X-ray? Like the X-rays you get at the dentist? That's right, at least that's what I call it. Huh? It has a real name, but it's much more complicated. The X-ray spectralization... something. How am I supposed to remember all that? So basically it lets you see inside things, like envelopes? That's right, you're sharp, Trucy. But it's a bit more complicated than that. In practice, of course. Actually, to tell the truth, I'm not really sure how it works scientifically. Can I try it out, Emma, please? Oh, I suppose. Of course, I've already checked out everything suspicious myself. Alright, let's give it a spin, Apollo. Ah! What are you doing? Oh, just seeing if I can see through your hair. But it's like lead. Point that thing at me one more and it might all fall out. Then I wouldn't need an X-ray machine to see through it all. Let's just get down to business, shall we? Right, let's test it on a simple first. It just so happens that I have a lottery ticket here. You set the sample in the device like so. I don't see anything. Patience, there's no need to get all antsy. Look at the right side of the screen. That's a layer view of the envelope. Layer view? You got it set to display the outside of the envelope now, see? Actually, it's quicker to just have you give it a try. Turn that dial there with the right analog stick for me, would you? That's right. That's how you choose what depth you want to scan. Hey, I got something. See? That's how you can read the letters on the ticket inside. Cool, huh? Except, I can't read them. Just turn the dial a little more. What you have to understand is that a sheet of paper isn't really flat at all. When you zoom in that much, you see the paper is like a bunch of hills and valleys. Wow, really? This X-ray device uses a beam with a wavelength of over 0.05 microns. It breaks the cards down into thin layers, so it can only show what's written on that layer. I'm not entirely following you, but what good is it if you can't read anything? That's why we go on to step 2. Try rubbing the image a bit, if you would. Rubbing? Like going over the image with the left analog stick while holding X? There, that fixes the image on the screen. Now, turn the dial again, just a little. Good, now you can rub this image to fix it too. Hey, I get it. We just keep doing this until we got the whole thing. Exactly, not bad. Neat, let's do some more. Oh, there it is. Okay, let's print this one out. Does this mean I have to buy another one to win? Well, it's Emma's ticket. Let her buy another one. It's okay, there's no need. Well, see, this is the true hidden power of my weapon. Neat, huh? Well, let's try it out on the real thing, shall we? Okay, let's print this one out. Mr. Drew Measham, I've deposited the $100,000 in a designated account. Please send a receipt once you've confirmed the transfer. Someone deposited $100,000 into Mr. Measham's account? His paintings must be really valuable. There's another page in there. Care to take a look? You bet I do. If you're going to read someone's mail, you might as well read it all. Here it goes with the second page, then. Okay, let's print this one out. Sign the papers and send in the enclosed envelope with the enclosed stamp within 3 days. I need not remind you to speak of this to no one. So it was a letter about payment for one of his paintings. Well, it is secrecy, though. And what? Why was this letter the only one in here? It's 7 years old, right? Maybe it has some special significance to him? Well, Emma? Well, indeed. She knows something she's not telling us. Looks like she's keeping mum about it. So, Emma, I was wondering, what's the story about this reporter that came here for a story the night of the crime? I'm afraid I can't tell you because he's going to be a witness tomorrow, I hear. I thought so. I'll never forget that face. But what was his name? Oh, right. Brushel. He's after a scoop to sell to the papers. So a reporter comes for an interview with a painter. His first interview ever, and that night he's killed. Seems strange to you? Really strange. It does raise a few questions. I'd like to speak with this reporter if I could. Well, I hear he's on the beat today, too. He said something about covering a magician. Magician? Well, if it's not Trucy, that leaves only one other person. It wasn't Valiant Gramare by any chance, was it? Yeah, something like that. He's got some big show lined up, I hear. So he's out interviewing Valiant Gramare. Looks like I'll be heading out to that Coliseum again sooner than I thought. Here, I'll give you that reporter's card if you want. October 7th, Sunshine Coliseum. Woohoo! This is it, Apollo! The place where magic and dreams converge. Just a while ago, it was the place where murder and nightmares converge. Let's go say hi to Uncle Valiant. What about the cave? Only a performer laughs like that. The young Miss Trucy! How often I hoped we'd meet again, only to tell myself it was an impossible dream! Uncle Valiant, how's it going? I'm glad to see you too. Of course you are. Humility is definitely not one of his stronger traits. Well, Miss Trucy, how does the day find you? If you've come to give me flowers, do it after the show, I beg you. Actually, we came to wish you good luck. And congratulations on your big magic show. Oh, but it is I who wish to congratulate you! Not everyone is so lucky as to witness miracles, such as the ones I shall perform. Yeah, you're amazing, we get the picture. The world will watch in wonderment as Magnify's illusions are reborn, here on stage by my hand. Everyone's talking about the big magic show. Is it true that the Gramare miracle is back after a 7-year absence? Miss Trucy, I must apologize. This show and this honor should have been his. Daddy. My co-magician in training sacked Gramare. If that terrible thing hadn't... It's okay. Your father was a great magician, Trucy. If he were alive, then I, Valiant Gramare, would have been proud to stand upon this stage as his assistant. Thanks, Uncle Valiant. You know, I'm happy you're doing the show. To think, we get to see the great Magnify's illusions again. She really is looking forward to this, isn't she? My mentor, the magnificent Magnify Gramare, was a true deity among magicians. A creator god who gave birth to magic and illusions that divide our very imagination. I was so little when I last saw one, but I still remember his shows. He did wheelies in a sports car through the air above the audience, and then sped off to outer space, faster than the speed of sound. I'm guessing that memory was a bit embellished. For 7 long years, the world has been waiting for a miracle to match his. As heir to the Grammari Troop's secrets, it falls to me to provide one. It is my God-given destiny. Yes, you, nameless face who speaks for the nameless masses. How can I help you? If the world was waiting, why did you hold off for 7 long years? It appears the lad is uninformed. Perhaps you have heard of the magic known as law, which governs our land. I have, but I'm not sure it qualifies as magic. The performance of Magnify's miracle was impossible. A certain law prevents it for 7 years, but no more. 7 years? That phrase sure likes to pop up, doesn't it? And why was that? A little matter called performance rights, Miss Trucy. Can you tell us about these performance rights? Magnify's magic relied on an incredibly innovative idea, a trick, if you will. The trick was considered his property, and as such was protected by property laws. Intellectual property, maybe. Magnify knew this and bequeathed it in his will. To one person. You mean him? Yes, Miss Trucy, it was your father. That Grammari was the inheritor of the Grammari miracle. Daddy! Yet, as you well know, he is gone. He disappeared suddenly 7 years ago. I think I see where this story is going. Once a person is classified missing for a certain period of time, they are considered legally deceased, correct? In all absoluteness, those rolled-up sleeves conceal your competence well, young man. That certain period of time of which you speak is 7 years. Ah! Yes, Miss Trucy. Though it pains me to say it, this past spring, April to be precise, was the time. Your father was legally declared deceased. In the absence of a formal will, the secrets of our mighty mentor Magnify passed to me. This was in fact stipulated in the will by Magnify himself. Is that how it works, Apollo? Yeah, it's called death and absentia. He's declared missing, permanently. Daddy. I was wondering if you could tell me about this. Aha! Why that bears the Grammari seal? Uncle Valet, is something wrong? Trucy, where did you get this? Huh? Daddy gave it to me. Your daddy! My partner, Zach Grammari! No, my other daddy, Phoenix Wright. Why now? Why would your Lord Daddy? Lord Daddy? That's kind of stretching the whole archaic thing a bit. The signature upon the back, do you recognize it? That belongs to none other than Zach Grammari. What? Daddy signed this? Might I be so bold as to open it? I'm sorry, but I can't let you do that. What's in this envelope, I wonder? His will? So, a journalist was here on a story. All eyes in the universe are upon my stage. All pens seek to commit its mysteries to paper. His name was Brushel. Brushel. I think he remembers him. He doesn't look too happy about it. Brushel. That cloying smell of mint when he smiles, yes. Could you tell us more about him? What did he want? A man by that name called on me just now. Just now? Valent's vision is always toward tomorrow. Valent's first feet step always forward. That is all. That's all? Very confusing. I am to perform a big magic show, yes? I wanted someone to convey it, cover it. Yet he had ears only for that incident. In any case, I requested that the rapacious reporter remove himself. So a painter has died. What of it? It is but a footnote in the footlights compared to the magic of Grammari. Uncle Valent, do you know where the reporter went? I recommended he visit that place popular with penalized perpetrators. The detention center? He was a rude individual. Might I see that card? Sure. He would tear apart my respectability? I will tear apart him! Ooh, here comes Apollo. Uncle Valent's big magic trick. Is he going to fix the card? Not sure that qualifies as big magic. What happened to the big magic? Is it not more miraculous for it to stay ripped? He must have really not liked that journalist. Now the time has come when I must return to make my prestidigitation preparations. By your leave, Miss Trucy. Thanks, Uncle Valent. 3 days from now, make ready for a miracle. What do you think that journalist was after? And why did Valent react like that to this envelope? I think it's time to pay the detention center another visit. October 7th, Detention Center Visitors Room. I think I hear what you're saying. We're all doing it for the money. End quote. No, 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 no! Not at all! Looks like someone's already meeting here. Maybe that reporter? Oh god, that face! I forgot about it. Forgot about how he looked. Hey there! How you doing? Who might you be? Sorry, we didn't know someone was already here. I'm a public justice attorney at law. Talk about a nervous monkey. You? You're Justice? You? You know me? Well, I know you. Of course I know you. Stands down witnesses on stand till they spill beans. End quote. That's not true. What's he writing? Are you a reporter by any chance? Woo, you're Trucy! Eh? Am I famous? Oh yeah. Trucy Wright hates carrying a bag. Puts everything she owns in her panties. End quote. Ah! That's so not true! Just hold on to your breeches there. I'll wrap up this interview in a jiffy. Interview? So guard, I think I know what's going on here. Guarding rooms is my life. What else could I possibly need? End quote. No! How many times do I have to tell you this? Look, I've got work to do. You deal with him. Did you come here to interview the guard? Woo-wee, what a pickle. Accused wouldn't talk. Had to interview someone or go plumb crazy. End quote. Huh? I should have guessed. Where's my manners? Name's Brushel. Spark Brushel. I'm not picky. Journalist just closes eyes. Writes. End quote. What's that nauseatingly strong mint smell every time he grins? Until you've been interviewed by me, you don't know what thrilling is. Wild romp through crossroads of mayhem madness. End quote. I can see that. He's writing something again. Well, if he's a reporter, maybe he knows something. So, Mr. Brushel, you're a journalist? Ah, me? Look, let me state one thing for the record here. Yes? I'm the interviewer. You understand, yeah? I'm the one asking the questions here. End quote. Okay. For instance, you think a movie director watches movies? Well, I think he probably does. Exactly! I knew you'd understand. Huh? So, the night of the murder, you were at Drew's studio? Who, me? Look, let me state one thing for the record. Yes? I may look calm and collected, but I'm busy. Real busy. Always on the road. Journalist always buys one-way tickets. Never looks back. End quote. I can understand that philosophy, but you want to know the thing about one-way tickets? Once you use them, they're gone. All because you have to give them to the guy at the airport. True enough. But don't they give normal tickets away too? Exactly! See? It's the same thing! What is? So, you went to do a story on Drew Measham, and he never had a story done about him before? That's right! Look, let me state one thing for the record here. What? I'm sure you're going to want to know about my source. What tipped me off to Drew? Why did the interview in the first place? Well, yes. Look, it's like... Oh, I've got it! Say there's this burger joint with fabulous ketchup. You think the burger guy's going to tell me where he got it? At the supermarket, maybe? Exactly, see? That's what I'm talking about. I think I may have actually understood that one. Well, there's nothing I can talk about, really. Walls have ears, eyes, especially glass walls with speakers. End quote. Right, guess we'll leave then. Ah, but since you're here, might as well tell you a tidbit of news I saw, just for the heck of it. Sure, tell us, just for the heck of it. I remember it like it was yesterday. I'd seen a movie on a trip and wandered into this burger place with amazing ketchup when an article in a tabloid caught my eye. Famous oil painting stolen from art dealer's gallery. End quote, I believe it was. An oil painting? Happens every day, right? But I thought I'd seen that painting somewhere before. A painting of a giant peach floating down a river. Someone stole an oil painting? Of a giant peach. Journalists can smell scoop better than burgers. End quote. Well, I know what he's talking about. It's the painting that's hiding behind that cabinet. October 7th, Drew Studio. Well, how'd it go? Find anything out? Actually, there was one thing I wanted to check with you. What's with that scary face you're making? And what's with the I know something but I'm not telling face you've got going, Emma? This painting came from behind that dresser. Ah, yes, so? It was stolen, no? I was hoping you wouldn't figure that out. Do you think you could tell us a bit about this? I suppose, is what you think. Drew Measham was a forger. A forger? So, what exactly is a forger? Well, basically, it's someone who makes forgeries. Fakes, in other words. Fakes? Copies of an original. Exact copies, so precise you can't tell them apart. But why not just photocopy them? The big problem with forgeries is that people try to sell them as the real article. It's a crime, of course. So Drew Measham was a criminal? I'm afraid so. He received money to create elaborate forgeries. To supplement his work in illustration, I guess. I see. Actually, that's why I brought this here in the first place. What do you mean? When you're trying to determine if a painting is a forgery, the rough sketch underneath can be a valuable clue. So the rough sketch is like a practice for the real thing. Like doing a magic trick in front of a mirror before you go on stage. But not in the case of a forgery. Not necessarily, anyway. You know what the finished product is going to look like, after all. Oh yeah, I guess you would. That's why I brought this. I'm going to use it to see what's under the paint of the finished pieces. I get it now. Not that I really needed to go to such lengths, seeing as how one of the paintings was only half finished anyway. Still, it'd be neat to see Mr. Measham's rough sketches, kind of like what he was drawing when he thought no one was looking. True, that would be interesting, and maybe valuable for our case. You should try buttering her up, Apollo. Flattery will get you everywhere, they say. Maybe I should ask Emma to help us out. I kind of wanted to see the rough sketch on this painting, and I was wondering if your tool there might do the trick. Oh, fine, fine. Just this time, though. Let's check it out. Hey! I know this scene! Okay, let's print this one out. Yeah, I know this scene! What the heck? Wow, he really blows! The finished painting isn't anything like the rough! Devices like mine didn't exist until recently. He probably thought he could draw any sort of thing he wanted for the rough. What do you mean? Well, in the past, you could only analyze the composition of a rough sketch. Composition? In other words, the traces of charcoal between paint and canvas. So you could tell if there had been a rough sketch, but not what it looked like. I think I follow you. So in essence, it wouldn't matter what was underneath the finished painting. Some pros would actually paint out a rough sketch entirely, then do a completely new painting on top of that. So Mr. Measham was drawing whatever he wanted before painting over them? Possibly. Is there a problem with that? Not particularly, but something about the sketch itself is kind of odd. You're awfully silent all of a sudden, Apollo. You think we could check out one of the other paintings? Well, sure. You like this detection stuff, don't you? Yep, it's all of Apollo's cases. First one was was the murder at the Borscht Club. Second is the murder with the noodle cart. This one too. What's wrong, Apollo? You look so serious all of a sudden. You think I could just look at the last of these? Fine by me. Knock yourself out. And of course, chapter 3 with the burning guitar. What the heck is all this? I hesitate to ask why you're getting so excited. You sure your device isn't leaking some kind of strange radiation? Trucy, look at these 3 sketches. Do you notice anything? Ah! There! Now you're both white as sheets. What's going on? These sketches are of the 3 cases I worked on. What? The murder in the poker room at the Borscht Bowl Club. The dead man pulling the noodle stand. And then the events that transpired during the Gaviniers concert. What could it mean? How could he have drawn those things? And why? That's what I want to know! Wait, is Drew Measham your father? Give me a break! Does that seem even remotely possible to you? I'd never even heard of any Drew Measham before. I hadn't even seen a picture of him. But there were my faces, drawn on his canvas. Every single one of them. It couldn't have been a coincidence. Just who was this Drew Measham? And what did he have to do with me? And with that, that'll bring today's live stream to a close. So, thank you all for watching, and as always, is your host, TheAmariaShadow, saying along Z, and I'll see you for the next adventure. Goodbye, everyone!